By the time you're watching this video, we should be less than a month away from the NBA playoffs, which means we gotta go through my playoff predictions before everyone else starts uploading their versions and it becomes oversaturated. I mean, literally everybody does this every season, but you know what? Nobody else has the ball knowledge like I do, okay? Every single thing I say is always correct. My takes and predictions always end up actually becoming reality. So let's just go ahead and start off right away with the play-in tournament. Now, this takes place on April 15th to the 18th is when we're going to be seeing these games be played. And honestly, we got some classics already, mainly over in the Western Conference, though. The East is looking a little grim. But anyways, let's start ahead with our Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns matchup. I don't know if it's me being biased towards the Sacramento Kings for thinking that they can win this game, or if it's just me not liking or not really believing in the Phoenix Suns and what they've done throughout their season so far. Because these are two teams where it's like, yeah, they're not good. They have not had good seasons whatsoever. But at the same time, this is such a big toss-up. And it's not because like the skill is different. Like I would say the Sacramento Kings are a far better team than the Phoenix Suns, but the Phoenix Suns have the ability to win a game like this where it's like Kevin Durant could just have a bonkers, performance. Same thing goes for Devin Booker, etc. Whereas the Kings can also just have like a really shitty game and not perform. But hey, I still think the Sacramento Kings can easily win this game. So I'm gonna, oh my god, that dragged everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and advance them into what would be the 7th seed. Wait, no, oh my god, I'm actually slow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them down in the 2nd round of the play-in tournament, which means the Phoenix Suns are officially out. Moving on to the West, we have the Clippers versus Timberwolves. Listen, I've been saying that these two teams are underdogs of the playoffs this year. They are the dark horses. I made an entire video talking about it earlier. So if we do end up seeing these two teams go head-to-head in a play-in tournament, oh my god, will it be fun to watch. I'm trying to see how I feel about like a Rudy Gobert versus Zubats, or a Harden and Anthony Edwards game. You know what? Kawhi Leonard is back, and at the time of recording, he is a fully healthy version of Kawhi Leonard. So I do think the LA Clippers will be able to take this game and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Clippers in the 7th seed, lock it in, move the Timberwolves to play against the Sacramento Kings in the play-in tournament. And my God, I'm not even being biased here, but I think the Sacramento Kings can win this. I know it sounds crazy, but I have the Kings winning this and moving on as the 8th seed. God damn it, I just can't get any of this Photoshop stuff to work. All right, moving over to the Eastern Conference, we have the Bulls versus Miami Heat. I'm taking the Bulls in this game. I don't think the Miami Heat have what it takes. Actually, Tyler Hero legacy game? Nah, you know what? I'm going to take Josh Giddey and Kobe White over the Miami Heat. I don't care. Move them into the play-in tournament. Down here, the Atlanta Hawks versus Orlando Magic. You know what, though? It really doesn't matter how these games go because I do have the Hawks and Magic making it to the playoffs, so I don't even care. Let's say the Orlando Magic lose. They go in and play against the Bulls. The Bulls lose. The Hawks make it. Okay, here we go. This is my play-in tournament prediction. The Sacramento Kings going in as the 8th seed. The Clippers going in as the 7th. The Hawks going in as the 7th. And the Magic going in as the 8th. I will say it's always really interesting doing these like make-believe playoff brackets because before going into it, I kind of have my predictions as to like the teams who are, like I said before, pretenders, contenders, and dark horses. But actually seeing them go matched up against each other completely changes everything. Because even if, let's say hypothetically, I say the Kings are absolute dog shit, seeing them matched up against the OKC Thunder, like I think that they have a chance to win. I'm obviously just kidding. I have the OKC Thunder taking this and moving on to the next round. That's not really a huge shocker. Kind of the same thing for the Denver Nuggets and Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not high on the Grizzlies this year. Like I don't think they can really make anything happen. I know a lot of people might disagree with that, and that's completely okay, but I think the Denver Nuggets are just too good to count out for a first-round matchup against the Grizzlies. I mean, they have the best player in the world, for God's sakes, and also them moving forward gives us an amazing 2nd round against the OKC Thunder, but we're going to go back to that, okay? We're going to circle back. Moving forward, we have the Houston Rockets versus the LA Clippers. Now, this is a very interesting one because I called the Houston Rockets pretenders, and I said the LA Clippers are dark horses, but I do have a very solid feeling that the Houston Rockets will kind of make their way with this series. The Rockets have been playing great against other good teams this year, and I feel like they will be able to weather down the storm against a good Clippers team, even if they do make it a 6 or 7 game series. The one thing is that the really good players are young, which could be a little bit of a challenge when you're going up against a more experienced team like the Clippers, but I do still have the Rockets making their way through. This is genuinely one. Okay, why can't I move the logo? There we go. This is genuinely a series, though, that can go both ways. Like, I would not be surprised if the Clippers went through. And finally, in the Western Conference, we have the LA Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors. My God, would this be a generational matchup if it actually ended up going this way? I think damn near every single series that we're seeing is absolute, like, classics just right off the bat. I realize that a lot of people call me crazy for doubting the Lakers this year because they have Luka Doncic, and especially in that playoff environment, it's like saying that Luka can't do it alone is just a little bit ridiculous to say. But I just don't think the Lakers have, as of right now, the correct roster and build for a playoff run. And when compared to a Golden State Warriors team that has already shocked us before with a random championship that nobody expected, seeing how good they're playing alongside Jimmy Butler, not to mention, and I don't want to use this as an actual point, but Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, I mean, it's Jimmy Butler in the fucking playoffs. So you have that alongside like this fact that the Warriors are just able to make things happen. You have that pressure off of Steph Curry. Steph Curry can perform at a very high level in the playoffs. Not as much of a defensive presence around him if he didn't have Jimmy Butler. So I do have the Golden State Warriors beating the Lakers in the first round and making it to the second. Okay, moving over to the Eastern Conference. What do we have? The Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. Listen, I know the Orlando Magic just beat the Cavaliers a couple of days ago. That does not move me whatsoever. Cleveland, you're going to the second round. Come on, get out of here. I also want to say the Cavaliers did lose to the Sacramento Kings. That's why the lights in my room are purple. That has nothing to do with this whatsoever. The Kings lost in my bracket, but hey, I just felt like making it be known. Okay, moving on, we have the Pacers versus Milwaukee Bucks. What has really become a fun rivalry in the Eastern Conference, I guess. I mean, anytime Tyrese Halliburton ends up playing against the Milwaukee Bucks, it's an immediate classic. I think he has like 3 game winners over this team. Like, it is disgusting what he's able to do. Unfortunately for the Pacers, though, even though I said that they were a dark horse team in the Eastern Conference, seeing them matched up against the Milwaukee Bucks, who I also called pretenders, I feel like the Bucks can make it happen. I can't let go of this feeling that Giannis just runs the league. Even though he hasn't been nearly as dominant as he has been, in previous years because of the offensive change of having Damian Lillard on your team, I just have this feeling, man, that he can make it happen. I'm sorry, Indiana Pacers. I feel the same way with the Clippers and Rockets situation, though, where it's like I would not be surprised if the Indiana Pacers ended up walking away from this series. All right, I don't even have to do any talking for this one. The Boston Celtics, they won a championship. You can't disrespect them and say that the Atlanta Hawks are going to beat them in the first round. If it happens, it happens, but I guarantee you it is not going to. All right, the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. This is an interesting one because you look at the Detroit Pistons and it's easy to say that with all the hype around them this season, how good they've been, how much they've shocked the league, they might go into the playoffs and continue that. They might say, this is our time. Cade Cunningham might turn into a superstar come the postseason. But at the same time, the New York Knicks and the acquisitions that they made this offseason, the team that they have built, the defense or whatever, as long as they have Jalen Brunson back, I can't remember when he's supposed to be back, but if Brunson is able to get back and kind of get his feet back under himself, I do think the New York Knicks can take this series. But either way, this is a series that I am watching nonstop. I'm watching every single second of every single game that they do because it is going to be a fun one. All right, here is our second round, starting with the OKC Thunder versus the Denver Nuggets. MVP versus MVP. Is it really a challenge? Is this really a hard conversation to have? I feel like it should be. Like, I feel like the answer that I already have in my head is wrong because I shouldn't have an answer so quick. But the OKC Thunder take this series easily, right? I mean, we're talking the depth. We're talking size, overall offensive and defensive combined. I mean, the OKC Thunder win both of those conversations, but the Denver Nuggets do have Nikola Jokic. I don't give a fuck. The OKC Thunder are making their way to the Western Conference Finals. One quick little side note, because you're going to see how, OKC heavy I am this video. I think a lot of people forget how close they were to beating the Dallas Mavericks if SGA just didn't foul on that 3-point shot last year. Just saying. Just feel like, putting that back into your heads, okay? All that conversation about, man, they're too young to be in the finals. That shit is so stupid. That is so dumb. That has nothing to do with their team. The Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. Another absolute classic matchup here in the second round. I would love to see this happen. I'm sorry, Houston Rockets fans. I am not sold on your guys' team right now as a deep playoff, contender. But hey, the Golden State Warriors, I don't know. They always got some stupid shit going on. They're always just winning playoff series. It's yeah, I can't stop them. The Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sorry, I don't have much to say here. The Milwaukee Bucks, like I said before, are already kind of pretenders in my mind. So putting them up against a Cleveland Cavaliers team that has been so dominant, I don't think there's really much to say. The Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks. I'm a little, okay, if you were to ask me a couple of months ago, or even like a couple of weeks ago, how I would feel about this, I would pick the New York Knicks in a heartbeat, just because a part of me, like, even though the Celtics won a championship and I just said to not disrespect them, a part of me still mentally does disrespect them when they're going up against good teams. But unfortunately, the Boston Celtics are just too damn good. They're beating the New York Knicks in the second round, leaving us with the conference finals teams. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my selection for the conference finals matchup. Real quick though, before we get into the conference finals, if you guys would like to leave a like or subscribe on the video, it would help out a ton. Like I said, man, the playoffs are less than a month away, so you're going to want to see all my videos talking about all these games and everything going down. But let's just get into it here. The Golden State Warriors versus the OKC Thunder. I hate how much of a front runner this video is making me out to be, because I also see this matchup and don't really see the competition. I think this is an easy OKC Thunder win. I really think that this might be their time. OKC Thunder, you are making your way to the NBA Finals. Congratulations. Out in the Eastern Conference, this really hurts to say. This really does, because I want the Cavaliers to do good this season. If I could, make a bracket out of what teams I would want to win the championship, I would put the Cavaliers probably second to Sacramento. But unfortunately, that's not what I'm doing here. I'm doing a very realistic, hyper-realistic, actual pinpoint accurate bracket here, the one that we're actually going to see happen next month. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's the Boston Celtics winning this series. I do think they will make a back-to-back finals appearance. The finals matchup that we were supposed to see last season, the OKC Thunder versus the Boston Celtics. And I'm not even going to be dramatic here. I'm not going to be dramatic. I think this will be one of the most fun finals matchups that we see. We're talking two of the best offensive and defensive teams in NBA history. Like, this would be absolutely generational. And in my mind, I think the OKC Thunder would end up winning the championship. I know it sounds crazy right now. Maybe you don't believe in them. Maybe you don't think they can get it done. Maybe you think that they're just a regular season team, but I promise you, you're wrong. Yes, everything has been locked in. The OKC Thunder are my NBA Finals champions as of, what day is it today? As of Thursday, March 20th, 2025. If you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below your opinions, your bracket, who you think is going to win the championship. I read and respond to everybody down there. And I guess we'll come back to this video after the finals and see how absolutely wrong I was. Or sorry, how correct I was and how I predicted it. Okay, I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.